Okay, I'm going to share this out real quick and we can BS for a few. It takes a minute for the live notification to go out. So as soon as people start seeing it and latching on, they'll come in and watch. Let me find this thing. There's a lot to this. Okay, it's posted out live. Oh.
Okay, I don't trust you. You have a poor history.
I heard that.
It's not strong enough. The drink, I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
I accept it. Okay.
Yeah, she flails a lot.
I'm an eccentric person.
Eccentric.
It's a good way to describe it.
Thank you, Jake. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Jacob.
You're welcome.
Love you.
I love you too.
Good. I know you do.
Okay, there we go. So let's BS. So guys, what's going on? We're live. Everything seems to work. You two look beautiful. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I've got a little drink in my hand, just like you guys. Cheers. Clink.
Cheers.
Oh, Haley's got one too. You guys are all down. All right. So, crowd, for those of you who are listening, those of you who are watching, as some of you know, this is my brother Zach. And then this over here is a really interesting fellow. His name is Roy. Retiree, 34-year career with the DOD. For those of you who do not know what that means, that is the Department of Defense. I'm not so sure if he was more the 007 type. I think it's something a little bit different than that, and we'll get into that stuff. So we're going to learn a lot about baseball and government stuff. This might be the show for you.
Do go hand in hand.
Yeah. I can only talk to so much of it. I did law enforcement for like 10 years, but I babysat a bunch of people who didn't want to listen to rules. So that was the difference. Not so exciting.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Oh, so what are you drinking, man?
Actually, some of his beer that he made. This is his Nut Brown Ale.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Make
He
it.
can make his own beer and wine and whiskey, and he's pretty damn good at it.
That's awesome. That's a good resource to have in your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Comes apocalypse.
Exactly. That's what I'm referring to. That's why
Gold.
That's why I got this brand new fancy knife the other day. And we got plenty of ammo, and we got some guns, we got some firearms somewhere around here. I don't know where they're at exactly. We got a couple swords too. Have you ever seen my swords?
No, I haven't.
If you ever need a katana, man, I got one for you.
That's cool.
I've got like 3 of them, so when the bullets run out, cut off some zombie heads.
That'd be way more good than I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but the chainsaw is more efficient.
True, but what if you run out of fuel, though, is the problem with that. I mean...
Yeah. By the time I run out of fuel, it'd be a mountain of zombies. So.
True. Good point. Hey, Tina's watching, Zach. Want to say hi to Tina?
Hey, what's up, Tina?
She's pretty cool. Well, if you ever come back, you need to stop and say hi to her.
Yeah, I don't know if I will.
They will.
Like this.
We'll come back.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They do a good job of watching Kiddo every once in a while for us.
Nice.
Speaking of Kiddo, see that mark right there?
Yeah.
So I was getting ready for work, 4:30 in the morning, got up, I'm groggy, tired, and I don't want to go to work. And I start to go downstairs, and I stepped on a really cool car that Cass had that's like this size. And sure as shit fell down the stairs and caught my arm on the steps. It was great.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, I was awake, though. Made it to work
I know.
on time.
You have kids that just put booby traps all over the freaking house for you.
Yeah, because then I sat down to put my shoes on, and I pulled 2 cars out of my shoe.
I was walking through the house and took the scene where they like set up all the booby traps, and I'm like trying not to die. I don't know. You know what? Nothing worse than like kids' toys, like the little tiny ones too. It's not even the big stuff; it's the little ones that you step on
Legos are
and
the worst.
just puncture your feet.
We don't have any Legos for that reason, but he's got Matchbox cars everywhere. Like, I'm talking baskets full of Matchbox cars, and he dumps them out everywhere, and they're everywhere all the time. But,
Dude,
oh my god, I step on them in the morning, and I hate it every time. Oh. I say so many curse words. But let's get down to business, brother. Let's talk about bullpen a little bit, man. You were gracious enough to say, hey, let me sponsor your Twitch channel, which I appreciate. Thank you. So for the people who know what you're into, but not exactly, I know what you do, but the people who are watching don't exactly know. So can you give them a little rundown on what it is you do?
Sure. Yeah. So I train kids specifically with pitching. Train them to learn more efficient mechanics and muscle patterning, so that they can throw a baseball harder and more efficiently, throw strikes better. I also do a lot of really aggressive strength training with them. So our main focus is on getting kids to be good enough to go to school and move on and play in college.
Nice. I know you've got a lot of kids that are committing, but you got a shit ton of kids you're teaching, man. How many do you work with right now?
It's between 150, 160 a week.
Good God.
Yeah, it's kind of hard keeping up sometimes, but I love it and I want to be the best, so I don't mind.
Understandable. How's that faring for the competition out there?
At the moment, not well. I mean, I think they're having
Good.
a little bit more keeping up with me, and moving toward retaliatory action. Trying to kind of throw my name in the dirt, and make me look bad in certain situations. But whatever. I'm just going to focus on what I've been doing, and that's taking care of my guys and outworking everybody like I always have.
I mean, I don't know who that asshole is, but good luck, because there's not really a lot of dirt to throw around. I mean, what's he gonna do? Make fun of your 30-year-long baseball career?
Yeah, pick up stuff to make fun of me. So it's whatever.
Anybody can make up anything, man. You can make up
It's
anything you want about that dude too. But
yeah, it's a good thing we had Dad, as our father growing up, because there's not really a lot that gets under my skin too much.
that's true. I find that I'm extremely rarely bothered by the words that people make with their mouths.
Yeah, I don't get triggered too often. Maybe for a little bit, but I usually calm down pretty quick.
True. But no, that's cool. But you kind of touched on it a little bit with the bullpen. So I watch all your Instagram stuff. You're my brother. I keep an eye on you. But you're literally breaking stuff down to like the physics and the mathematics behind the science of throwing a ball, aren't you?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. But that's where things are these days. And if you don't understand those things, then you're already behind. Big thing that separates me from the rest of the guys in my area, at least, is that I can break things down, I think, a little bit better than they can, and kind of come up with common sense drill work to help kids understand how to move their body better and understand pretty complicated things.
I think what it kind of comes down to is I would be a shitty coach, and you're a really good one because you're good with kids, and they're really receptive to you, and they always have been, and it's part of your personality. Whether I have a shitty personality or not, I don't think I do, but you're good with kids that are in that age range where you can be a good role model for them, dude. You always have been.
I think you're a bad player, and it tends to make you a good coach.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, I don't.
Back on the other side, if you're a really shitty player.
I mean, not everybody. I've not met another person in my life that's thrown a perfect game, whether it's professional or high school or what. I've still never met anybody else besides you. So, what does that say?
Yeah, I mean, it says they got lucky. That's what it says.
I don't care what you said. My brother's the best baseball player, so everybody else can suck one. So Roy, 34 years, Department of Defense. There's a lot of questions behind that, sir. Primarily, why? Government jobs like that can be kind of stressful, scary. I have a little bit of background behind some things related around it, but it was very stressful for me. I liked it, but it was stressful. But what got your interest in that career?
Well, actually, what got me in the Department of Defense was we ran out of money in college.
Okay.
And they offered both me and my wife a pretty sweet deal to finish college. So that got me into the Air Force.
Okay.
Spent 9 years in the Air Force, first 4 in California. And then my next assignment, I guess that would have been about 1988, I went to the Defense Intelligence Agency in Washington, D.C. And that's when I started to do nuclear weapons intelligence.
Oh.
And quite frankly, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
What part of involvement did you have with nuclear weapons intelligence?
So it was on the analytics side.
Okay.
And so, essentially you can break it down to it's a lot of reading and a lot of writing.
Does that pretty much entail observe and report sort of ideal, or?
So observe and report is more for collectors.
Okay.
You've heard of, CIA and NSA and other places. They collect data. Analysts use that data and use it to find answers.
Gotcha.
Truths. What people like the Russians are doing, the Chinese.
Yeah.
So it really is a lot of reading, sorting through a lot of junk to find, pearls of wisdom hidden in it.
Yeah. And that's a good point that you brought up with Russia and China, because I don't know. I'm going to have to read more into it, but from what I can kind of see is that a lot of it is starting to prove to be really made up in a lot of aspects. I don't know if you know better than I do. I'm sure you do, but what's your take on it? I mean, do you have any of your own observations?
Well, exactly what part of what the Russian or the Chinese are doing are you interested in?
The biggest part I think everybody seems to be really interested in is the Russian meddling in the election and hacking Facebook accounts and doing all that stupid stuff that allegedly has happened.
On that issue, I don't know any more than anybody else does. One of the cardinal in the intelligence business is to see information, you have to have the right security classification, and then you have to need to know it.
True.
Okay. And I never needed to know anything about that, but I'd already retired, I guess, when that stuff started to come out.
Yeah.
But, meddling in elections, it's like, we've done it.
Sure.
What do you think the whole purpose of the Voice of America is? It's to get people to, persuade them to change their government.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of people do it. I don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah, I'm sure it's all true to a point, but you know how our media can kind of blow things out of proportion from time to time and make it sound like it's just a complete invasion with social media and, oh god, the Russians are attacking us through social media, basically.
CNN is always right.
No, man, Fox News is always right, okay?
You funny man.
It's a bunch of fake news, okay, people? Fake fucking news, okay?
I don't know. I don't watch the news because it's a bunch of shit. But I'm pretty sure after that detailed, extensive kind of career, you probably have some pretty cool stories to tell. Is there? I don't know what I can push and what I can't push, but do you have any really cool stories, like something that really stands out in your career that's just a good story to talk about?
Good story.
I mean, one specifically that I remember, if it'll give you time to think of a good one, is a couple years ago we had a few quote unquote immigrants, 4 of them. I'll have to. How do I want to say this? They were from the Middle East. They came here, got picked up. They were waiting on ICE to come in and do their job. And it was really weird. I wasn't working for this part, but I guess they were in their cell together. They were in a holding cell together, just basically waiting for ICE to come in and do their thing. Basically, they'll take them out and review them, see what's going on, see if they need to keep them here, take them back. I don't know what all ICE does, but they were really, really scared of being there. And I remember the first account of somebody walking into the holding cell that worked there, and they kind of huddled up in the corner, kind of scared for their lives. And one of them could speak a little bit of English, and he was like, the person that talked to them was, what's wrong with you guys? Is everything okay? And the first question was, we were just wondering if you guys were going to beat us now. They thought that we were going to come in, every hour and beat the living crap out of them, which is really, really crazy. Kind of gives you a little insight onto what people who aren't in the U.S. have to deal with. Some places that are less than desirable to be. And it's really harsh. That's one of the stories that always stuck out in my mind that I like to tell a lot. I tell it more in detail, but since we're talking to a lot of people, I don't want to do that. But it's really, really creepy knowing what goes on out there. But there are other stories, but I don't think I could tell those. Those are a lot of scary details, but it's a weird job. I'm sure you have plenty of stories like that too, don't you, Zach? With baseball. No, I'm just kidding.
I got some weird ones, that's for sure.
Let's hear it, dude. What do you got?
I don't know, just like funny stories, dumb stuff. Yeah, just like absolutely ridiculous things that people probably don't realize go on behind the scenes.
Yeah, let's hear the behind the scenes stuff. What do you got?
Okay, I can tell you one story. We were driving to Myrtle Beach on the bus, so it was a long drive. And
like your team or your kids or what?
Okay. No, this is when I was playing.
Okay.
And so there's 30 professional guys on the bus, and a guy has to go to the bathroom right on the bus, and there's a rule that you can't, go in the bathroom and destroy it with all of us on the bus, and if you do, then everybody gets to beat the crap out of you, because obviously it's going to stink up the whole bus. So this guy that nobody liked goes back there and is doing his best and destroying it. So we were like, all right, we're going to get this dude. So we kind of like blocked the door off, so he was locked in the bathroom. And then we had another guy really get butt naked right on the bus, and he climbed up on top of the like where the luggage and stuff goes over top, the overhead bins.
Yeah.
And he climbed up there, and he put his hands up on a couple of the parts of it, and then he put his feet up on the other one. So he was like totally like just like wide open, like right in front of the door, right? And we called this Spider-Manning somebody. And so the guy was like trying to get out of the bathroom, and we're like blocking him. He's like, "Let me out!" Getting all mad. So he's starting to push on the door real hard, and that dude's just sitting there butt naked with his with the south side face right toward the bathroom door. We finally let him out, and this dude runs out of the bathroom. Face goes right into all this guy's stuff. we all just started dying and laughing. The dude that had balls on his face, like, got all heated. The guy who was naked ran down to the other end of the bus, and everybody probably peed their pants laughing. Yeah, that's pretty much what you get paid for in professional baseball.
Wow, that sounds like a job I could do.
Everybody thinks it's to throw a baseball or go hit or whatever. It's like, nah, it's all other stuff.
Nah, we're gonna go fuck with each other.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like, yeah, how much can you screw around?
Dude, I remember when you were at UK and Mom and Dad and I came to watch one of your games on a weekend, and you were telling us this story about how I think it was like one of the volleyball girls was really upset because she got like a brand new car, and her volleyball team put post-it notes all over her brand new car.
Oh yeah.
And it rained, and the rain washed out the post-it notes and stained the paint job on the car.
Yeah, did a white car and all these different colors, and it just it stained the entire car. They had to redo it.
I remember looking at it. It was there in the parking lot because I guess she left it there, and it was like all pink and yellow and green and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. It's like $3,000 or $4,000 paint job or something.
I mean, it's funny, but I would have been so pissed. But it's funny.
It is funny.
So do they do stuff like that over at the DoD, or is there stuff like that happens?
So in military units, there's always hazing and stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen nearly as much as in the intel field.
Yeah.
I mean, we really are the bookwormish types. We all had security clearances, so we all had to have squeaky clean backgrounds, which
Of course.
means a lot of us are kind of dull.
That's okay though.
So the only funny story that I have from there is one time I went to Pakistan and linked up with the people in the embassy, and most every embassy has a military staff there. It's run defense attaches. Met one of those guys, seemed like a really nice guy, took me around to several places, and then I mentioned I'd like to drive by this certain facility to see if I could take some pictures of it. And we got to looking on a map, and he goes, well, I think we can do better than that. We can climb this mountain that's near it. You've got a telephoto lens, you could take some pictures. I was young enough at the time not to realize just how dumb that whole situation was. We climb up the back of this mountain, climb over the top, and I'm sitting there. I'm on like my fourth roll of film. And then we hear something busting through the bushes. See what it was. So I was tripping. I was ripping film out of film canisters. Freaking out, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to a Pakistani jail, which is really not a nice place.
Yeah, ideally not where you want to be.
And it turned out it was mountain goats. And I almost did pee my pants.
I think you probably handled it better than what I would have.
And after that, I ended up having to shoot 3 or 4 more rolls of film to get good pictures of it.
Yeah, because you ruined all the film.
Hi guys.
Oh, hi, buddy. Over here. Look over here. Huh? Now you can wave. Say hi, guys.
Hi guys.
What's up, man?
Say, what's up, man?
What's up, man? I can't hear you.
That's because they're on my headset. Yeah. You want to go watch your show for me for a little bit? I'll be in there in a little bit, okay?
Alright, you're going in mommy's nose.
Okay.
You're going in your nose.
Okay, he's gonna drive a giant bus on Mom's nose, apparently. I don't know. He loves his cars. That's all he wants. We take him to like Walmart and we look through the toys, and he's just like, "Can I get a car?" Yeah, of course.
It's Christmas easy, then doesn't it?
Yeah, extremely. Especially because he likes Matchbox cars and they're like $1 a piece. It's great.
Oh heck yeah.
and we got him like a whole set. Like there was like 25 cars for like $20 in this big box. We just got it for him one time just because he loved it. We brought it home and like his eyes light up and he's just like totally happy. Oh, Erica said hi to Cass. Oh, that's Erica King, by the way. You want to say hi to her too? I don't know. Hi, Erica. How are you? Thanks for watching.
Hey, what?
Yeah, how you doing? Zach, you've always been so super mellow all the time. Hey, how you doing?
I'm getting old. I'm mellowing out. You know, my old age.
It's about time, dude.
I know.
I'm mellow out. I've mellowed out like extremely because of this job, and all I am is tired. I'm about to be even more tired because kiddo number 2's coming.
Good luck.
Watch it be a girl. I'm doomed.
You know what though? I was worried mostly because of like the girl stuff, you know, all the crap I don't get, and then like boys and all that. Seeing
Dude.
Mackenzie run around and the way that she is now, I'm more afraid for the boys, dude. That chick's a savage. I'm more worried for like Cade because he's such like a nice Mackenzie, dude. That chick is mean.
Like intimidatingly mean?
Yeah, she's like bipolar.
Oh,
Like
God.
it's like, hi daddy, love. And then the next time she's going, ah! And just like attack and trying to like kill me. So
Well, I wonder where she gets that from. Does it come from you or it come from Haley?
it comes from Haley for sure.
I can believe that too.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to see Haley break out the claws one time and just
No, you don't.
scrap it out with somebody.
No, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see her fight you.
But she can't fight. She can just be really mad at you though.
That, in some cases, that's even worse, man, because that entails not physical torture, but mental torture and anguish.
Oh yeah, mental emotional warfare. Oh yeah, she's got it down. She wins all the time.
Yeah, she may not be able to tackle you, but she can make you cry mentally.
She tackles me emotionally.
Yeah. And then makes you cry, and then continues to make you cry until you submit.
And then she continues to make me cry when I admit. So yeah.
I don't believe it. So when I worked for that, I can't say the name on the. I won't say the name of the company, but when I was installing satellite television for a while for people, I went to a guy's house, and he looked at me real weird, like one of those like sort of things when he answered the door. And I was talking to him like completely normally, and I'm like, "Hey man, how's it going?" I didn't say that, but you know, I was like, "Hey, how are you? How you doing today? How can I help you? What are we here to do? You know, how can we get you set up? Blah blah blah." And after a while, he like finally realized I was pretty normal, I guess, in my mind. But he's like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "I'm from here. I was born, 45 minutes away from here, but I've been here my whole life. Why?" And he's like, "Oh, I was just in the military for like 25 years. I thought you were from the Middle East or something, and I used to be a contractor over there." And I was like, "Wait, you think I look Middle Eastern?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, a little bit." And I had my beard, so I guess I kind of do. And it was summertime, and I had my tan. I was like, "No, I'm not Middle Eastern, man. I'm from here. I'm just a normal guy." He's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And he started laughing. I think he was embarrassed. I don't know.
I mean, you do kind of look a little suspect. You might want to trim that thing up.
Sketchy.
Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't plan on flying anywhere anytime soon. Anyway, it's fine.
Well, I hope a big burly guy strip searches you.
That's wishful thinking on your part, dude.
Just trying to help you.
Why don't you grow a beard?
I don't know. I can't stand it, dude. I can't stand. This is way too much for me right here.
Really?
Stubble. Oh yeah.
I thought so too until I grew it, and I was like, I really like this a lot.
Nah, I don't even like this much hair.
Shave your head.
Well, I would have my mohawk if the wifey didn't, hate it.
Wow.
She likes to fade.
Wait. What's wrong with a mohawk, Haley?
It's up.
It's what?
She said it's ugly.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Like your face.
Like my face? Well, I can't even see your face, so I can't comment.
Well, this is a new iPad, and I don't want her to break the camera.
Ooh, got her.
Yeah, keep her behind me. Mm-hmm.
What about now she's got a wine face?
Wait, how much have you had to drink, Ailey?
A good amount.
She probably had like 3 bottles.
Ah, yes.
A good amount. That's what we do here. We just get plastered with my dad.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Cab Frank and how long?
Oh, like 10 minutes. I know. It runs in the family.
It's okay. You're a lot of fun when you've been drinking.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
Mm-mm.
I am
Zach,
fun.
your
Listen-
wife is a wonderful woman.
Yeah, she is.
She has the nicest soul, and she's so great.
Jake, I love you so much. Thank
Always
you.
better looking from the outside in, dude.
You shut your fucking face. He loves me. He's full of shit. He likes to act cool, but he loves me.
The F-bomb. The
I know.
SCC could be storming this place.
Oh, man.
Jake, I love you and your wife.
Hey, we love you too.
I can't say that on.
And Zach loves me too.
Regular TV.
He just likes to act like super cool.
I don't know if there are any rules on.
But he's not cool to the viewers. He's not that cool.
No, he's super cool. He's always been super cool.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He makes a lot of money. It works out.
Zach's always been like Goku. He's like the guy who likes challenges and is always super nice and eats a shitload of food all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
His martial art is baseball, and that's how he's like Goku. But Goku is always the leader. Zach was always the oldest, and he was always like the one to fall into the icy creek, and because the branch broke, and he was always the one to get hurt first. And
No, it wasn't because a branch broke. It's because Amy jumped on the ice. And all you guys were on the side of the creek, and I fell backwards into the creek and got totally submerged in ice water.
I don't know. All I remember is we were trying to figure out who was going across first, and I was looking at the ice and I was saying, "Oh, I'm not fucking going."
Yeah, I always did that crap first.
Yeah, it's because you were the oldest. You had to.
Whatever.
It meant you were the strongest.
Yeah.
So
No, I
if
didn't.
anybody was gonna survive it, it was gonna be you because you were the strongest.
Good point.
Remember that time? Two things. Remember the time? Have you ever told them the story about the dinosaur and then the story about the UFO?
I don't know.
I
anything-
cannot hear it again.
No, I don't know anything about UFO, but I do know that I definitely saw a dinosaur when I was a kid.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I saw a pterodactyl. I know I
hear that
did.
story.
I'll go to my grave saying that I saw a freaking pterodactyl.
I will too because I'm pretty positive we saw it. I was very young and I remember it.
Yeah, so is Josh. So all the haters can, whatever. I don't care.
Haley, it happened. You just weren't there to see it. I wish you would have been. It happened.
The four of you are weird. You did not see a pterodactyl,
Yes, we did.
and that's the end of the story.
You-
Because they became extinct millions upon millions of years ago. I would just like to preface this conversation with that notion.
Well, I would also like
They are
to
not
say,
here, and he's pushing me away.
Excuse me. You grew up in a trailer park, so you don't know the weird stuff that happens there. Okay?
Yeah, people put their kids up against sheds and rocket baseballs at them for an hour.
Parks? I didn't know that.
No, but weirdos in trailer parks
Apparently.
do gene splicing and make pterodactyls. That's what he's
Mm-hmm.
getting to.
Okay.
There we go.
I did not grow up in a trailer park. I
Although,
did not. So I guess that's why I've never seen
That's
the
because she's
pterodactyl.
privileged.
Well, that's over there, because that's a whole nother situation.
oh, she's so privileged. Oh my god, let me go get my white Frappuccino Mocha latte. I'm having a terrible day. They were out of 2% milk.
Hey, Jake,
Hey.
you're privileged because you're white and you're a male. You're privileged.
Yeah, but see, the problem with that is it evens out because I'm stupid. I'm a stupid white male.
I
Like,
believe that. I'm just saying that.
you know what I don't like is that you just assumed that he was a male. You didn't ask for his pronouns. So
What are your pronouns?
Wouldn't you like to know, Captain upsetting me all the time?
yeah. Wrong.
My pronouns are Megatron and Pterodactyl.
Oh, that makes sense. You probably have a big penis then.
God, go away.
Well, I don't know. You have to talk to my wife about that. She hasn't divorced me yet, so something's got to be okay. It's not my wallet.
He's gone. And so let's continue talking about something more
Hey,
important.
she's gonna be the comedic relief, I think.
I'm gonna lock the door. She's cut off.
She's the sprinkles on top of this podcast cake that we're making.
Yeah, she's something.
Don't look so upset, man.
Oh, I'm not. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. Trust me. This is an everyday thing.
I mean,
I feel like sprinkles is a good way to describe Haley.
well, you'd agree if you heard her right now because she's being hilarious.
Yeah, but just like I would also
She's been drinking, so
describe
she's
her as sprinkles on anything. Cause it's just
rainbow-colored sprinkles because that's her personality. So.
Yeah.
I wish you could hear her right now. You'd be having a fun time. It's too bad you can't drink.
That's your fault.
That's your fault.
She can drink.
That's what I told her. I told her she could drink, like have a beer.
I don't want a beer. I want
Pregnant,
a
they turned out. All right.
Well, okay.
Callum.
Couple of weeks and OIF. I was sent up to a little bitty town in northern Iraq to debrief somebody.
Okay.
And so it's a long, miserable helicopter ride on a shit wind rotor helicopter. And it had to be 120 freaking degrees out there. And so I was feeling kind of gnarly. And this was supposed to be a fly up, interview this guy. Interview, that's the nicest way I can say that. Going to interview this guy. And then we're going to fly back the same day. So halfway to this place, and I'm talking like a 5-hour helicopter ride, it springs a hydraulic leak.
Hmm.
And it goes right on me, every single drop. And I'm covered, I'm in the sort of brown camo, and it just turned pink because of all the hydraulic fluid. Okay, so I was feeling pretty miserable.
Ugh.
So we landed at this little place, and I said,
Uh-oh. We lost them, guys. That's not good. Alright, we're gonna have to get him back. Hang on, we'll get him back real quick. Whoa. We'll get him back. Just a sec. Why did it cut me out? I don't understand. Hello.
a great big box of baby wipes. And I had to stay there 3 days.
Oh my god.
So you're gonna hate me when I say this, but we dropped video feed for probably 30 seconds.
What was the last thing I said that you heard?
You started laughing, and that was the end of the story. And then you were covered in hydraulic fluid, and you something about being pink.
Missed the whole thing.
Missed the whole thing.
Okay,
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't
Right,
know.
slice- It was a 5-hour or so flight. Really miserably hot. So I was hot and sweaty, tired, hungry. got off the plane first, the helicopter, the shit hook, the big twin rotor one. Third step, I hit a pothole. And it went all the way up to my thigh, and the pothole was filled with what some of the DOD guys called moon dust. It was like talcum powder, so it went all over me. I mean, I was covered head to toe, and of course it was sticking to me because of that hydraulic fluid. So I managed to get some baby wipes and wiped my hands and face off and debriefed this guy that I was there to talk to. And just about the time that was done, the wind kicked up. They shut down all flights. And all flights shut down for 3 days.
Oh my
So
God.
I was at this place that had no running water, certainly no hot water of any kind. I didn't have to change clothes. And imagine I'm covered head to toe with hydraulic fluid and this moon dust, and baby wipes would mostly just smear it around. So after 3 days, I was pretty damn miserable. And I went to the end of the runway. There was a little cutout sort of bunker there that the Iraqis had built. And it was a little cooler in there. And so I camped out in there for a while when I saw a British plane land, a British C-130. And the pilot, I guess the co-pilot, got off the plane, and I don't know, whatever possessed me, I jumped up and went to talk to him. Said, asked him where they were going, and the guy said, we don't really have anywhere to go. The Brits could fly, Americans couldn't fly for some reason. And I talked to him for a while, and these guys flew me home. Flew me all the way back to Kuwait, so I could finally get that well-needed shower.
That sounds like if it were me, it's probably the best well-deserved shower I think I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Whether it was 5 minutes or an hour long. Oh my God, this is great.
Times when I was there, well, when we first got there, we were at a place called Camp Udari. It's like 10 clicks from the Iraqi border. It was the site where I think the 101st Airborne staged. It was the biggest collection of military helicopters on the planet at that time. But it was one of the most miserable deserts you've ever seen. In a camp that was designed for people, by the time we got there, it was from 15 going to 20,000. So
I feel like any desert's going to be terrible.
This was really pretty awful, and there were almost no landmarks. There was one tree that may have been 12 feet tall. There was a dead camel, and the camel had been there a good year or two. That was actually the biggest landmark they had for many miles.
Is that what they use to direct people? When you see camel, turn right.
And that's exactly what it was. And these 101st Airborne guys were, they were almost like animals. They could destroy anything. When they went in as platoons or whatever and hit the showers, and we had like 3 showers, I mean, literally, well, maybe 5 individual stalls for 15,000 people. And they would destroy the place. But when the balloon went up and they launched, it was the most amazing thing I had ever seen in my life. So here you have lots of 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old kids. And one minute they're acting like a bunch of morons. And then instantly you kick the fire ant field, if you know what that is. And every single ant knew exactly where he needed to go and what he needed to do. And then for the next several days, there was always a helicopter coming out of this place. It was unbelievable, the ferocity and the horsepower these guys took to the fight. It was actually one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And this went on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing to watch.
So,
Pretty proud American that day.
Yeah, I bet. That's not something that I've seen. I don't know if you can talk to it much or what you can kind of talk about, but a typical debriefing, what all does that entail for somebody?
Well,
You don't have to talk about anything you don't want to talk about or anything you really can't or shouldn't talk about. I don't want to put you on the spot or anything like that, so that's not a
we
big
always
deal.
we have professionals with us, and language is a problem. I don't speak anything but English.
Hmm.
And if they're cooperative and helpful, and I can confirm that what they're telling me is at least what I believe to be true, it's just sort of like a police interrogation.
Sure.
But they sometimes get out of hand, because debriefers sometimes can be working for days on end with very little sleep and that. So
Hmm.
people lose temper from time to time when they know somebody's lying to them.
I imagine there were some punches and kicks thrown, and among other things, I'm sure.
I never actually personally saw that. I mean, the guys that I normally talk to were fairly senior people,
Hmm.
and most of them, I think, told me pretty much everything they knew. Because it was pretty obvious after a week that Iraq was going to fall,
Right.
and they don't seem to have, as a people, to have much of a spine, and essentially their army just disintegrated before our very eyes after a few days.
Right. Right.
Most of them would tell us everything they knew.
They just spilled the beans about everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Why do you think that happened?
Well, I think they realized there's a new sheriff in town, and the old order was gone, and I just think that's the way they are.
Yeah.
It's a great big on my part, but
It kind of seems that happens with a lot of regime changes when it happens so frequently. It's like one starts, another one ends, and they just flip-flop back and forth. And
it's hard to think very many people in the country actually liked Saddam Hussein. I mean, he was a beast, but
yeah,
his two sons were actually two of the most inhuman people we have ever come across. We were classifying some of these high value targets before we went over, and on one of the brothers, we were trying to figure out and actually talking about whether his propensity for raping women was a hobby or some other way to classify it. If the guy was just, pathologically broken. One of the brothers found out the other brother's girlfriend and raped her, and then branded her inner thigh.
good lord.
Yeah.
That's
They will never create.
That's literally trying to tell somebody that, hey, I own you.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah,
a,
they really despicable creatures,
that's a crazy, creepy concept.
as far as I was concerned. Well, they got a 223 right to the head. Well, one of them got, the other one went down pretty harshly.
So I have a question. It probably sounds really stupid, but I only get all the surface information. But we spent such a long time looking around in mountains and caves for Bin Laden. And the thing that's really perplexing to me is how we can spend that much time looking for a guy, yet we can get two people on a news crew to go right to him and do an interview with him and find him almost immediately within 2 weeks. And that always stood in the back of my mind, and I never really found a direct answer to how does that happen, or did that just happen because we just didn't want to act on something right away, or you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
Well, there are several things that I know that's going on, and I don't know the whole story. I was never personally involved.
Yeah.
Getting him, but you got to understand is that's a hellish terrain up there.
Sure.
And I believe northern Pakistan. I believe 6 of the 10 tallest mountains in the world are in Pakistan. I don't think anybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
The other big difference is many of the people that live in that part of the world, owed allegiance to him, and that was, often through fear and intimidation, and then there were, probably a whole host of other reasons that I don't know anything about.
Right.
And you can't move through those mountains without people seeing. We were actually fairly close. I forget the name of the operation. We were fairly close to him early on, and then he went into hiding. And when you have hundreds and thousands of people that are willing to shelter you and hide you and move you from place to place, it's rather difficult. I mean, think about trying to find one person in New York City that you have no idea where he's at.
True.
Think how monumental of a task that would be. And, the guy was actually pretty smart in many ways. He was very cell phone savvy. He knew that we could tap that stuff.
Yeah.
To almost anything digital, we could put at risk. So that was avoided like the plague.
Sure.
And it's a big place. Monumental of, like I said, and you almost have to use helicopters to get in. The guy was actually pretty smart in many ways. That's pretty big signature. Savvy. He knew that we could tap that stuff.
Yeah.
So to almost anything digital, not an easy job. Put at risk. Like I said, he had thousands and thousands of people helping shelter and hide him and move him from point to point, and it doesn't surprise me that it took that long.
Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But in the end.
Bye. Gotcha.
Bye.
Bye.
Be careful when you fuck with the baddest dog on the block.
Yeah, true. I mean, we spend a lot of money on military, so that would make a lot of sense. A lot of money. More than the next 25 in a row combined, I believe. Next 25 countries.
Something like that.
I think that was the last statistic that I heard.
I don't know what the exact number is, and it's hard to tell. People do budgets and stuff differently, but yeah, there's no question that ours is higher than anybody else's.
Yeah, I feel really bad about that.
Well, there's really no question how good we really are, and we don't have a lot of holes.
Yeah.
We filled all 3 legs of the nuclear triad. Anybody better than the 82nd and the 101st? Oh, wait. Yeah, there's other groups, the SEALs. Everybody's got special teams that are true badasses.
That's true.
And I have those, and they are as bad as you think they are.
I don't doubt that for one second.
Than that, they are impressive.
I don't doubt that for 1 second at all. So where, I guess as far as your career, where did you spend the bulk of your time working? Or I know Haley said you were in Kuwait, and where else have you been stationed at or located, I guess?
I went to DIA in Washington, D.C., and I was based out of there from about 1988 to 2010. And so that was my home of record until 2010. We moved down to this brand new complex here just north of Charlottesville. But I've been to a lot of places, and most of them were to give briefings to people in the U.S. Embassy, sometimes to foreign governments. But you can understand there are very few governments we can talk to about nuclear weapons.
Right.
But we have a very close relationship with the Brits, very, very close. And so I've been to Britain 4 or 5 times, been to Australia once. So I've been to India, Pakistan, Kuwait.
China.
Yeah, I'm trying to
China.
think the Middle East now. Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar. I spent
Qatar.
several months in Qatar. God, what a hellhole that was. Abu Dhabi. Okay, yeah, then Hong Kong, China, South Korea, North Korea, Japan.
South Korea.
What about South Korea?
You know her.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do.
Well, I did get to go. I did get to go to a lot of really pretty interesting places, because of the job. Got to walk on the Great Wall of China. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
88 through 2010. You were at the Pentagon, right?
No, I was actually in the Defense Intelligence Agency building, and it's on what's called Bolling Air Force Base. As far as I know, I bet it's the only U.S. Air Force base that doesn't have a runway and it doesn't have a golf course. So I bet there's not another one like that in the entire world.
How is it an airbase without a runway?
Well, I think that ultimately the big deal is the property is so very valuable. It's right across the river from Reagan National that they want.
Okay.
There's not much on that base than
I gotcha.
there's a little just north of it stuff in it that I not good.
You went to North Korea?
Yes,
Wow.
about 100 into North Korea.
Are North and South Korea as crazy as we think they are?
South Korea is not at all crazy. This is a very technologically advanced country.
Mhm.
The average person there is very hardworking. They make their own cell phones. They make almost all the nicer TVs. They make really good electronics. It's it's a pretty modern country. I mean, they're different than we are. They have different social values and norms. They look different. They're certainly smaller than we are. But they're bright, energetic, hardworking people, and I think they're really good allies. But like most country, they think about what's best for South Korea. We want everybody to think about what's best for us. They just don't cooperate. So, but South Korea is pretty cool. Now, North Korea is something entirely different. The place has been run by a dictator essentially for over 50 years. I don't know how long it's been before that. Malnutrition is rampant. They can't make or get enough food to feed everybody. In fact, the malnutrition has been so bad that I believe I heard several years ago that the average height of a North Korean is like 3 inches less than a South Korean.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
they come from the same gene pool. It used to be one country. So that's pretty profound.
Yeah.
And then the problem is with malnutrition. Malnutrition in children is double bad, because apparently the brain doesn't develop like it should, and I don't really understand it, what that means. They have mental issues with a lot of people because of malnutrition.
I don't know a lot about it either, but the one thing I do know about that with malnourishment in underdeveloped brains, especially kids, is that it's kind of like your brain almost goes in, just basically kicks in and stays into survival mode. So you see a lot of creativity in people go away, and things that are seemingly not important to survival kind of not be active in certain parts of the brain, I guess. But it would make sense. I mean, I don't know ins and outs and details and anything like that, but I know it's not a good thing at all. But Zach, I'd really like to see how far you can throw a grenade. I want to see it one time. How far and how fast?
Pretty heavy.
How heavy are
What are they, like 8 pounds? 9 pounds?
I think they're. I don't think
6 or
they're
7?
not that heavy. I want to say like 5 pounds.
That's still
I don't know.
heavy.
Honestly, probably not that far because that's heavy.
Just throw it underhanded like a softball.
Just float it.
Float it.
Anybody know that movie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. First kid to have the Tommy Johns.
No. Well, yeah. Remember he tripped on the baseball. His bones fused in his elbow, and then he could throw 100 mile an hour or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
No,
Imagine what kind of career you'd have nowadays if you were like a 12-year-old and threw like some 102 high heat.
Well, nowadays, in all honesty, you'd probably be pretty normal.
Not for 12.
Well, not for 12, but I'm saying comparatively to guys in the big leagues, it's like everybody throws 95, 100 now.
Yeah. And
Not to write home about anymore.
yeah, and I remember like that used to be a big thing with, 10, 15 years ago when Randy Johnson was still playing, because he threw like 100, 102. He was always up there. And
Even when I was playing, it's like guys that threw 100. It's like there wasn't really a lot of them. My pro guy, John, that has trained with me for a long time. He said they had 2 guys that threw 100 on his team alone this year, and he was 99, and they had a couple other guys that were like 97, 98, and that's just his one minor league team out of like a ton. It's crazy how many dudes can throw hard nowadays.
so like, that used to be like the standout thing, if, let's say you're coming right out of high school, like throwing like 98, that's a big thing. That's like one of the main things that you look for. But now it is a dime a dozen, there's plenty of people out there who can throw 90, 100 mile an hour or whatever. But if that's the case, I know there are other things, how good the curveball snaps or how good your slider is or whatever. But like, what's the standout thing now for kids trying to come up into baseball? And like, what are scouts looking for? Like, what do you look for? Because if that's the case with speed, what's the standout thing?
The big thing now is there's 2 things now that they're kind of looking at more: spin rate and makeup. So it used to be just really more about physical skills, and now it's they look at spin rate, which is a physical skill, but it's like if a guy throws 95 and has a higher spin rate than another guy throwing 95, it's going to look a lot faster with the guy at the high spin rate, right? So it's like the perceived velocity is much, much higher, and it's harder for the brain to kind of process where the ball is going to go, and the timing on when to swing. And then the other big thing they're looking at is makeup, because that's such a big thing now, where
Like genetic makeup or
just like on the mental side, guys can handle crap pretty much. It's like if they can deal with it and handle it well, and struggle and still stay focused and succeed and not just collapse emotionally, mentally.
So just like dealing and handling with like the stress of potential career and everything that comes with it and all that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. It's such a load on your shoulders the whole time you're playing,
Yeah.
and most people realize that. It's like you could be doing well, and they still fire you. They still cut you.
Yeah.
And it's like they keep certain guys, they release certain guys, and sometimes you don't really understand. I mean, I was playing with this guy who was dominating and had like a 1-something ERA, a ton of strikeouts, and was just doing well, and they cut him just because they wanted to bring another guy up. You know, so it's like literally every day you play, it's like your career's kind of on the line, so it's somewhat stressful.
Yeah. So what gives with that? The guy with the low ERA, high strikeouts, like what? There's just no explanation, or
Well, because he was a free agent sign, which means they didn't invest any money into him. They just signed him to kind of fill a spot. And the other guy they wanted to bring up was a guy they'd pumped, 6 figures into.
I gotcha.
So that's about it.
Ah, that
And the
sucks,
other-
dude.
Up, and he didn't do very well, but he still invested money in him. So
That sucks, man.
yeah, I mean that's just the way it is. So
You'd think you'd want to pick the best guy for the job, not necessarily the guy you've pumped the most amount of dollars into, I guess. But I understand it.
yeah, I mean it's make an investment, and they want to see the investment do well.
So, what kind of stuff do you do? What are you doing right now to teach your kids? Any new mechanics, any drills, or whatever you could talk about without giving everything away. But what do you really focus on with your kids a lot?
I think I'm probably more of what's called a constraint training specialist. So I think I have a very unique way of breaking things down very small and putting guys into fixed positions so that they can focus solely on one aspect of their delivery. So instead of trying to do 10 things all at once, it's like they have a very small, intricate piece of the delivery to focus on, and then that's it. And I develop a bunch of, drills to work around that one thing.
Gotcha.
So I that's a big thing that, me from a lot of other instructors, and I think a lot of guys, honestly, like baseball, like guys kind of get stuck in the Stone Age. It's like they're still using coaching cues that they learned, in the 80s, 90s, whatever, early 2000s, and it's like it's progressed way past that now. So, I mean, if you don't understand things and the way things work nowadays, you're already, old news.
Yeah,
I'm done in the shower.
I think probably down the road, 10 to 20 years, we're going to start really, really getting into like the scary thing is like genetics, because we've broken down the genome, we've broken down human DNA, and people can we're getting to a point where we can alter people's DNA literally before they're born, change hair color, change eye color, change skin complexion, skin tone. Like, I'm just like, as you're saying all this stuff, I'm just thinking like down the road, it's like, what if you literally genetically engineer your kid to be like 6'6", built like Randy Johnson, throw 125 miles an hour, just because you can manipulate the genome that well? Like how, it's like, how the hell are you going to navigate this stuff?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like I have a kid right now who's a freshman in high school, but even last year's and 8th graders, kids, 6'5", 6'6", 225 pounds as an 8th grader, and he's
Jesus.
left-handed throwing 92 as an 8th.
Nobody's going to touch that kid.
No. I mean, he's the hardest throwing kid in the country for his class. So,
Dad, I got medicine.
Okay, good job, buddy. Was it good?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. Screamed right in my face. I was like,
Dad, I got.
medicine. Okay.
But yeah, it's like there's a lot of people like that nowadays. It's crazy. I got a kid who's 6'11". He's a junior this year.
Jesus.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll see someone in the next 10 years. I'm going to guess that we'll see someone throw 110. within the next.
That's crazy.
I mean, they kind of say that's like the peak of human, ability. That's kind of the limit of what we can do. But I definitely think that we'll see somebody either do it or get really close.
Shit, I doubt it, man. We're so stupid. We've got so far we can go. Humans are stupid, and we're not very strong.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, you got Rollins now, who's like throwing 105.4. You got oh god, what is his name? Jordan Hicks for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he hit 105 multiple times, this year. And then it seems like every single guy now is throwing 96 to 100. So it's like it's just going to keep moving forward. They're going to figure out a way how to prevent guys from blowing out their UC. And I'm sure that they'll figure out some protective mechanism to kind of help the UCL handle the workload of throwing, and you'll see guys throw harder and harder until they get to that 110, and then we'll see.
good lord.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about, man. And then to think about all the implications and things you can use it for, especially, I guess you can go back to military stuff with that too. You start programming people to do certain things and engineering bodies to do certain things. You can do a lot with a militarized group of genetically engineered soldiers. Literally like something out of a movie, super soldiers sort of deal. Jean-Claude Van Damme sort of thing. I don't know, but I mean, if you're gonna have a bunch of Navy SEALs and then you have the opportunity to make them super SEALs, it's like, why would you not do that?
I think they kind of already do a little bit, right? I mean,
Well,
as far as like,
anytime you mess with the human genome like that, there's also we don't know enough about it to tweak it because we don't know all of the ramifications that can happen in that. I don't see anything like that in my lifetime. I mean, I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can map it, but there are a trillion different combinations of things, and we don't have any idea what most of it means, and how lots of it. How does it relate to everything else? Damn that! We're I think we're learning, but we're still neophytes. So I don't think that anything anytime soon. I mean, we can bioengineer different germs and bugs, but last I checked, that's not a human being.
It's probably a matter of time, and eventually we'll find the Elon Musk of genetics, and then before you know it, we'll have Captain America running around.
Ethical?
That's going to be the big argument: is morals, ethics, religion, that sort of deal.
Who really wants to volunteer to have somebody, manipulate the genes of their unborn child?
Hey, we're dumb. There's people out there who'll sign right up for that. We've got guys that want to sign up and go to Mars and live there indefinitely. I think that's pretty stupid, but there's somebody out there for it.
There's no bars on Mars, so I'm ruling it out.
You should come to Wabash and look around just for a week. Don't even do anything, just look. And you'll be like, oh, this is what he's talking about. These people are fucking stupid. It's a different it's a different world here.
I like Wabash. I think Wabash is very pretty.
It is, but 20 years ago there were 15,000 people in town, and now there's less than 9,000. So
I like the Charlie Creek Inn.
it's a nice place.
Very pretty.
It has its ups and it has its downs, but I don't mind it. I would like to have more opportunity here, but it's not bad. But it's also not great. Could be better. It could be a lot worse too, I suppose. So how's the teacher life?
Teacher life's good.
You look so sad. What's wrong?
I'm just a little drunk,
Oh,
to be honest with you.
oh, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, she says the teacher life is good. She absolutely loves her job.
Well, she's got the kind of personality where kids are probably like, Mrs. Dials, you're my favorite teacher. Like, I'm sure that probably happens once, like, a week. It wouldn't surprise me. Again, I don't have the personality to teach kids. I'm impatient when it comes to stuff like that, so I'd be a terrible teacher.
Yeah, I love it. It's fucking awesome.
I'm not so good at that. I don't like a lot of fuss, and I like to kind of be like, hey, do it, and we'll just do it and not complain. So I'd be a horrible teacher.
Probably.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Love you.
It's very nice of you.
I'm with them, though. I wouldn't have the patience for little kids.
I couldn't do it. I love my kid. And well, that's about it. I love my kid. He's cute, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really fucking cute.
You gotta come play with him sometime.
Yeah, I know. Damn it.
You have vacation days. Use a couple.
I do. Zach doesn't have vacation days. It's your brother you have to work on.
Yeah, he's a tough one because he's always knows the grindstone, and he's a little stubborn. And I'm always like, Zach, take a day off every once in a while. No, I can't. I got to do this for the kids, and I got to train. And
Oh, I know.
You know what? Hey, people that take a day off are the ones who are losing
Who will talk shit
because they
about him on
can't
Facebook.
keep up with people like me. So, say what you will.
while that may be true, sometimes you got to take a day or two for yourself, man.
Nah, I'm good.
Sometimes it's okay to just like shut it off and just like sleep a little bit, sleep in an extra hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
See,
that
Haley
doesn't-
is like, amen,
And that-
preach,
yeah,
preach.
does it.
Doesn't keep you at the top.
That's what I did today, man. I worked, I put in 74 hours last week. I had a day off and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep in. So I did.
Oh, I had to take care of some business, too. Zach, you need to learn, if you set a low enough bar, be able to achieve it, you can be happy all the time. Set low expectations.
You'll always achieve them.
Have zero expectations and you're always gonna be surprised. But you'll also probably be really depressed too.
Mm.
She's about ready to fall asleep. She's drunk.
Oh, drunk.
Yeah, she's buzzed for sure.
I see that.
Yeah, but we're pretty happy.
Good.
And Zach crushes it.
Elaborate. In life?
Yeah, and like,
Okay, good.
he's the best.
Well, I know that.
Aw, thanks, babe.
Everyone that works with him knows he's the best because he genuinely cares about his guys.
Yeah, he does. It's because he's got a big heart.
He does. Like, he loves everyone.
He tries to be tough, but he's got a big softy heart.
Hey, you know him the way I know him. You know the truth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tough. He loves everybody with his whole heart.
Yeah.
Every,
I know.
and he would do anything for anybody.
I would, as long as they deserved it. I can't help just everybody out. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Ain't about that life.
You're not about it either, but this guy is.
I know. He'd save the world if he could. I know.
Yeah. He would.
That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wouldn't do it.
Good thing. Wait, I have to pee.
Okay.
Can't help you.
Well, hey, we're probably gonna wrap things up because we're gonna go play some spades and hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're at almost an hour and a half anyway, so
Holy moly! I know. Look at us, Shy Cappy.
I know it's fun, man. I love doing the podcast.
I love you, Jake.
Hey, we love you too.
I love Alexa more than you.
No, you
I
don't.
love Jake.
I don't believe that for a second.
I'll take Cass.
Okay. You want to babysit him for a day or two?
Yeah, I would love to. Ship them here. Overnight them.
I'll see if Amazon can do something about that. They have like
We're Prime members. They'll take him.
ship them. We'll ship them by a drone. We'll get them there in like, about 6 hours.
Perfect. I love him and
Alexa, do you want to say bye? Never mind, she didn't hear me. That's fine. But yeah, we're at an hour and 21 minutes, man.
Cool.
But yeah, please tell Mr. B that I said thank you very much for his time. Oh, there
There
he
he
is.
is.
Hey, you're very welcome.
Hey, before we go, what's your favorite gun?
Oh.
He had to ask me that one.
So that's sort of like asking a woman what her favorite pair of shoes is. You know, because there's so many different roles for weapons.
Well, let's think about it like, let's just say something drastic happened. You had to leave your house and take only the essentials, and you had everything laid out right in front of you. And
Zombie apocalypse.
what's the first one you're going to grab?
Zombie apocalypse gun.
Sure. Favorite zombie apocalypse gun?
Well, that'd have to be an AR. But I'd like a 45
Which is what-
for backup.
Okay.
Which is what we shot today.
Yeah.
Serious thumpers.
I always wanted to shoot an FAL. I always like those guns. Those are pretty cool.
I had one. It was okay.
Not the
Especially-
greatest.
The 308. That's a hard hitter.
Okay.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with those. The FNs are good, but you know I've got all kinds of guns: shotguns, concealable pistols, big pistols, giant pistols, double barrel guns for skeet shooting.
Giant pistols.
come visit us and you can
Oh.
shoot whatever you want.
Ask her. I've got some big damn pistols.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've got
Some BFGs.
that I bought to compete at 200 meters. It's a game that's called IMSA, the International Handgun Metallic Silhouette. And the targets at 200 yards are like life-size rams, like 3 foot wide and 2.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
They weigh 3 pounds. And not only do you have to hit them, you have to knock them down. So these are big damn guns. 44 Magnum
Ooh.
is kind of...
Yeah, I'm a big fan of my Glock. I've always really, really liked my Glock. A lot of people don't. A lot of people do. I like it. It's good for me. But
Yeah, I have one Glock. I don't really like them, and it's just because of the way they make the grips. They don't fit my hand. The
That's-
19 is perfect for me. So I have a lot of those. I got a lot of the and that Springfield Armory XD. I love those XDs. Those are top shelf.
yeah, and see, that's why I like the Glock, because I have big hands, and it fits pretty good, pretty comfortably. It's a nice,
Yeah.
nice and stable, steady gun for me.
like-
It's perfect.
If the grip fit me better, I'd have more Glocks. You know, I mean, when it comes to functioning, they're awesome.
Yeah.
You
Of
know, you
course.
just don't see problems with them.
Zach, you look
Yeah,
like
but-
you want to say something.
Yeah, you have big hands.
Yeah.
Does that mean you have big
Feet.
gloves?
Big feet.
Look what you did to
There
my
we
floor.
But no, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for your time. Really, I really do appreciate it. It's nice to hang out with my brother and then see Haley too.
Yeah.
So
She's a
she's probably she's a good daughter. I'm sure she's a great daughter to have.
that's a question for you.
See that?
He said, I'm sure she's a great daughter.
Oh. She's okay. I'll keep her. I'll keep her. I don't know. I may like Zach more than her, though.
I'm easier to deal with.
It's not as complicated.
True,
I'm-
guys are a lot less complicated.
Especially me.
So Zachary, before I cut this off, man, there've been plenty of people coming in and out and watching and stuff, man. So how can they find you on social media, and what's coming up with Bullpen? Like,
Pretty much, I'd say go check out my Instagram page, Bullpen Pitching. That's where I put most of my stuff. I do have a Facebook page too. It's Bullpen Pitching, and then I'm currently redoing my entire website. Name bullpenpitching.com, so that'll be updated and way cooler here soon. As far as what's coming for me, I'm going to be adding some big pieces of technology to the space that will pretty much dwarf my competition and what they have.
When you say things like that, me knowing you, that makes it sound like it's something really expensive, but also really cool.
Oh yeah, it's about 30 grand
That's my whole year's salary almost.
just for the one thing. So, oh yeah, check this out.
Oh my god. Yes.
Bring on the zombies.
Yes. Those are beautiful. I'm jealous.
Well, come out and we'll come shoot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got plenty of time now. I'm gonna have some free time up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays every week.
No.
Okay, so come stay with us.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That drive is hellacious. That drive sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It's worth it.
What?
It just sucks.
We'll fly you out.
Eh.
So, well, let me know. But we're gonna go drink and go play cards. So,
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm gonna hang out with my wife for a little bit too, and then I'm gonna go to bed. I gotta be up at 4:30. But
sounds fun.
Sounds awful.
hang on here. Let's stop this before I get off. Podcast people, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. You guys want to say bye to them?
Bye.
See you guys.
friends.
Bye.